Hello everybody, Fresh Batman back with another video. You see, look, oh, I got a little bit of a different base here. I used to use this one, I'm using this one, because this one doesn't have studs on it, and you'll see why in a second. But, hello, welcome to another custom showcase. This one is, kind of mostly just redone custom. I redid 2 customs, and the way this was inspired, I decided to boot up my 3D printer again, which I have one. And I decided to 3D print some minifigures to be 30% bigger than a normal minifigure. Now, I didn't know who I wanted to make at first. I wanted to make a character that was significantly bigger than a normal human. However, it still had the same proportions as a normal human. So, like, the Hulk is bigger. However, he has, like, Hulk-like proportions. I would say the same as, like, for Thanos and other kind of comic booky characters. They're very proportionally big and bulky. So for these 2 characters, you probably saw a thumbnail, I chose to make, let me just show up the first one. I chose to make Thor and Ganondorf from the most recent games in their series. So this is the Thor. Now, maybe you might be thinking this looks like a normal minifigure, but let me just compare them real quick to the size of Kratos. So to give a good comparison, so there's Kratos, right? His feet are down there, and you can see how much taller he is. So I decided, because in the game, when they're next to each other, I mean, Thor is significantly bigger than Kratos is. So that's why I decided to make Thor one of them. And also, I'm just a big fan of the design they have for Thor. Now, I've actually already made a Thor in the past, so here is the comparison to that Thor. See, significantly smaller, and there are a few other things I changed. For example, the hair color. Now, I prefer the red hair. However, the orange is more game accurate. He's kind of a redhead and doesn't have actual red hair, which I'm not a huge fan of, but whatever. Also, the color of his pants, I changed from dark blue to light blue, because in the game it's kind of a lighter shade of blue. It's not as vibrant as it is here, but still. And then, yeah, he still has all the same tattoos. I didn't give him the scar. This one has, like, the red scar he has. I did not give it to this one. But still, I still sculpted out the stomach because, I mean, he's fat enough where I think it works. Lego has done that before, made the kind of specialized stomachs for certain characters. But, yeah, at least, and this is all kind of connected to the torso, and then also sculpted his shoulder pads, where in the original, it was one big piece, right, that would kind of do the shoulder pads and the let me try to take that apart. Damn. Yeah, it was originally this, so I've changed Thor a good amount of times. It was originally that, and then I made this kind of sculpted specialized piece to go over. Gotta give him some more fat. Also, I made Mjolnir, obviously a lot bigger to compensate for that. So let me take it out of his hand. Let me give you a good look at that. So there's this new kind of God of War Ragnarok Mjolnir. I really like how it turned out. Here's the original a lot smaller and a lot less detail. So yeah, I'm really happy with how that turned out. And the way I attached it to his hand, because his hand's 30% bigger, kind of looks a little bit cursed, but there's actually a minifig hand inside that hand, so we can actually grab it. Like I said, without the hammer, it kind of looks cursed. I don't like it, but, you put the hammer in there and you don't really notice it that much. It's just a way so I could give him accessories, because I didn't want to, make a big accessory that only he could grab. So, yeah. But that's all for Thor from God of War Ragnarok. I am really happy how this figure turned out. I'm not super happy with how the face turned out. I think his bottom lip might be a little bit big. I did redo his face a few times, because it's hard to map out usually the way I map out where the eyes are supposed to be on a minifigure, if I ever have to paint the eyes on, is I compare it to another minifigure head. However, I don't have a minifigure head that is this big, so it's kind of hard. Alright, and then next up, we have Ganondorf now, ironically, both of these characters are villains from a sequel to a rebooted game franchise, if that makes sense. The rebooted God of War, and then the kind of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which is kind of a reboot to the Zelda series. They're both villains from the second game, and yeah, which is kind of ironic, and they're both very popular as well. Yeah, but here is Ganondorf. So let me give you a quick 360 of how he looks. I really like how this turned out. The kind of his ponytail, I guess, I think turned out really good. And then, yeah, I really like, so here's the original. I actually made this one right when the concept art came out. So there's the kind of size comparison. I do kind of like this face a little bit better. I think this face, just kind of way I sculpted, it looks a little bit squished, if I'm being honest. But I'm still happy with how it turned out. As you can see there, the wrappings are more accurate. You see the white, the color of his pants is more accurate because we have more photos of him. The shoulder is basically the same. He's the same design, right, for the necklace and whatnot. This is actually, I sculpted this a little bit out so make it look like the sleeve is kind of going over his arm a little bit more, right, to give it a puffy look. Also, I painted the side of the torso so it kind of gives it a more clean look. I used a fake dollar bill. It was like one of those like prank dollars. It was like $1 bajillion. You know, I cut that up, and then I used that as kind of this cloth piece, this like fabric piece that goes over his legs and whatnot. I think it makes it look really good because in the original it's just kind of painted on and it's not really that much. It doesn't have that much prevalence, but this one it does more. And then yeah, I'm really happy with how this. Oh, also has that weird gold thing where this one doesn't, and yeah, and also like the feet are more accurate. I added like gold on the bottom, which wasn't there. But yeah, and then let me give you a quick size comparison to my Link custom I made for Tears of the Kingdom as well. So here's Link, and then yeah, I think it works out pretty well. I think this scale works, and like I said, if I have more customs I need to make that are kind of larger characters, I'll probably use this in the future because the 3D printing, actually, usually sometimes when I 3D print stuff, it doesn't turn out super great. But this turned out pretty good. It all connected well, and now I can't move the legs on this guy, but look, you still move the arms, still the hands are still posable. The head on this guy is posable, so I could turn it side to side. Head on this guy's imposable, but the legs are posable, just to get some, you know, show you how it works. But yeah, I am really happy with how these two kind of random customs showed up. Will I call this a random custom showcase? Will I call it maybe like a video game villain showcase? I might call it video game villain showcase. Has kind of a cool ring to it. I might call it that. I don't know. You'll know. Also, one last thing I would like to mention, because I had a good time, feel free to like, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Also, one thing, we do have a Discord server. Yes, if you want to, and in that Discord server, I actually show these guys off a day early. So, yeah, I think for the future, whenever I have customs, I'm going to show them off on my Discord server early. So if you want to get like an early look at my customs, feel free to join so you can check it out. Also, we have a community challenge going on right now where you can make your own fantasy character, and I might redraw it. So, yeah, go check that out if you're interested. Link in the description. And you have a nice rest of the day. Go watch the 2011 film Rango, and see ya. Yeah, ciao. Bye-bye.